Merry Christmas, everyone. This is the final for the outdoor Christmas lights 2024 into 2025. And I kid you not, if this video gets screwed up, there just is not going to be a Christmas lights video for this year because this is the fourth take. I made it all the way through the third take. Wow, that was great. So glad I made it. Not really, because when I get to the end to hit the stop recording button on the stinking camcorder, I find out that I guess I had bumped the button and it wasn't even recording the second half of the production, so scrap that video. Now I'm recording on the stupid dumb phone as opposed to a smartphone because the camcorder also decided that 40 minutes of battery only means about 10, so that's just great. I don't think the camera knows how to tell time, which is fine. It's a camera, not a human being with a brain. I guess it's one thing if you have a brain, and it's another thing if you have a brain with brain cells in it. Anyways, all annoying garbage aside, these are the lights. They're incandescent, they're C7, and they're opaque. And I really am so sick of talking about lights right now. I'm just so tired of it. We have an oscillating deer with incandescent lights. Over here we have the same kind of thing, except the deer doesn't oscillate and there's only one set of C7 opaque incandescent Christmas lights. All three of these sets, because 2 plus 1 equals 3, I believe date back to the early 2000s. However, most of the bulbs have been replacements. Over here we've got a beautifully done tree with 5 sets of opaque C9 lights. Camera doesn't really pick this up properly, but it looks nice, to say the least. Over here, I've got a wreath with C7 lights on it. This is a very nice wreath. It's got different types of greenery and pine cones, however you can't really tell in this lighting. We've also got some C9s running across up there. In the windows, I've got some candelabras with the alternating pattern. What the heck? Pattern. These were my grandmother's, and these are the way she set them up. I didn't change them. There's 2 right here. That one. There's that one. I'm kind of rushing through this because I'm so tired. This is the 4th time I've tried to film this. And my neighbors are probably like, what the heck is he doing walking around his yard with his telephone, taping all his lights 5 times? I hope they're not watching me, but if they are, then I don't really care. They already know I'm crazy. Alright, here's the splice, main splice here. I just like to show the electrical work because it makes some people freak out. Like, oh my gosh, you put that outside? It's wet? How did it not turn into flames? Yeah, this is actually a non-grounded, oh no, plug, because it's just old, before grounding was common. And it doesn't matter because it works. This tree actually is connected up front because it, in and of itself, draws 7 amps, and the rest of all of that, I guess, draws 5 because the whole thing drew 12. Yeah, that math is right, I think. I can't add, so, I think that's right. So I just ran a 100-footer to the front for this thing. So, let's go up there. up front I'm not super proud with. I actually hate the way it came out. It's all LED, or pretty much all LED, because that's what certain individuals wanted me to use. And I hate it, and next year I think I'm just going to give all the LEDs to the neighbors and use C9s because they all use LED and I don't like it. So they can have it. Here's the garage. And then this thing came out terrible. I hate it. This dinky little light tree. Usually this thing is twice the size of it is this year, and it's like that because all my trusty LEDs were not working. So I had a very limited supply to work with this year. What a surprise. C9s are so much more reliable. We got these two bushes here with LED lights, and these two bushes here with LED lights. This bush over here is a stinking joke. It's got net lights on it, and then a couple years ago half the net lights burned out, and because I was low on lights I decided to just use them anyway and then place another regular strand of lights over the section that was half out. Well, the lights I used to place over the out section burned out, so I'm still left with the original problem, half working net lights. However, I'll give these lights something because they're actually kind of old for LED. These are probably going on 7 to 10 years, somewhere in there, and they've been used outside every single year, so they're getting old. These were part of the original lights we purchased when we first started putting lights outside, so they're getting old, but whatever. So part of me kind of wanted to still use them even though they only half work. My favorite thing out here is this wreath. This thing is probably at least 15 years old now, but I'm not really sure on that. It's got 200 incandescent mini light clear. And then, just about lastly, we have an angel, which actually stopped working, and I just wrapped some regular lights around it for this year because the lights it takes require a special voltage that I didn't have on hand. So I just decided to take a regular set of 100 white wire lights and wrap it around it, and to be honest, you really can't tell from more than 5 feet away. So it just stayed like that this year. And then lastly, I've got some candles in the window, and unlike the ones that were in the backyard, these are from the 2000s, early 2000s. My mother purchased these, and they have brass bases. They actually stay in the window a lot better because they are weighted, what I think is a much, much better design. There's another one. So we got those two, and that's gonna be a wrap for this. And like I said, the zooming and the camera work is not gonna be as nice on this because I'm not using the camcorder. I'm recording on the telephone, if you even want to call this that. The wiring, which I only show to make people freak out, is we got this timer just laying on the ground because you know, and then I've just got this power bar out here, which has everything in the front on it, as well as the that 7 amp tree from the back, and it works fine. And every year people always tell you to tape up all your connections, otherwise water's gonna get in and shut off your GFCI. Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you. It's a complete waste of your time, because what happens is that water will always get underneath your tape, and once it's underneath the tape, it is then trapped underneath the tape and it cannot dry out. And that is what shuts off your GFCI. If you situate your connections properly, pointing them down so that water doesn't go into them, you do not need any source of tape. And using something like a power strip outside, if it's covered well enough, which rain and snow doesn't really go over there, is 100% safe. Some more dangerous electrical work for you guys. This is the 7 amp cord. This is a grounding cheater plugged into an quote-unquote indoor extension cord. It's just not grounded, and this is actually getting pretty warm, drawing 7 amps. It's not into the category where I would consider it to be dangerous, not anywhere near as that actually. This is pretty warm. It's pretty normal for a cord that's going to be drawing 7 amps, but I think that's 100% safe, nothing to worry about. I checked that at the beginning of the season just to make sure it was going to be alright, and I still think it's alright, so I'm going to continue to use it that way. It is a long run, so, you know, but I think it's fine. And again, I have not had a single issue this year with any GFCIs tripping due to water or overloadage, so I think it's fine. And then the last connection is, this is the wreath, that's the bush, and then this is that stupid dinky little tree down there. That's gonna be it for this video, which has been actually really frustrating to make. Thank you for watching, and I wish everyone a wonderful and Merry Christmas season. Finish out with a nice thumbnail of the Christmas wreath here. But yeah, thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas.